Okay, so now what we're going to do is log back in to diagnostics and complete the assessment by doing the skills section. Now, as we mentioned earlier, as long as you do each section in its entirety, you can log in and out between sections and it will have saved your scores. So you can see there's 3 ticks on the previous modules. We click on skill. There's the opportunity to do a practice module so you can familiarise yourself with how the system works, but we'll skip that today. We're just going to continue straight in. First of all, it comes up by telling you that there's going to be 9 questions in total with 3 different methods of interaction. Now you'll see here the video is going to buffer. That should take only a few seconds, and while you're watching the first clip, the subsequent videos will buffer during that time, so you shouldn't have to wait for any more to load. Now it's a bit jolty on here because we've used some screen capture software, but actually this would run perfectly smoothly on your own computer, providing you've got all the recommended software and hardware requirements. Now, as you can see, the rear view mirror functions, the wing mirrors function, the speedometer function, so it really tests your ability to eye scan as you would on the road. As you can see, the first method of interaction is the clip will stop, it will ask you a question, you'll respond to the question, the scene will continue, and you'll find out whether you were correct or incorrect. So if we just watch this here, none of these scenarios are set up, they're just hundreds of hours of footage and what actually happens on the roads. So you can see there the car's cut in front. We've said we're going to brake harshly. Well, actually there was no need to, because they're doing maybe 80, 85, we're doing 70. Just take your foot off the accelerator, check your mirrors. There's always the option to replay the clip, so if you maybe missed a road sign or you weren't sure why you got something wrong, you can replay and re-examine the scene. Now again, the clip is going to stop and ask us a question. You have to be really, really quick to spot this one. There was actually some pedestrians that had got to a crossing in front of the van, so we managed to see them walking down the pavement, and as you can see they've just crossed now in front of the van. So we got that one correct. The next method of interaction is hazard detection. So we'll play the scene will stop, and it will ask us to click on any hazards that we identify. If we're running out of clicks, it will tell us, so go for the most critical hazards first. Now you can click on hazards through the main windscreen, you can click on a hazard in any of the mirrors as well. So you can see there's somebody looking to cross the road. Perhaps they would have pressed that and it could have turned red, so they were a hazard. It's very easy when you're doing this to click on things that you might perceive to be a hazard, but they're not actually the most critical things in the scene. So this is all about picking out the hazards that are most serious. Now, as you can see here, we've got a bus on the right pulled over, and you can see some people emerging from behind the bus, so we're going to click on them. But actually what you'll see I did there is click to the left and the right of the people. So we actually got that wrong because we didn't click on where the pedestrians were waiting in the middle of the road. There's only a certain level of tolerance around the hazard that you must click on for the system to recognise. So as you can see here, we've got a lorry pulled over, and obviously the car approaching the lorry may have to take evasive action if some cars are trying to overtake it. Great, so now we move on to the final method of interaction, which is risk management. Very similar to the hazard perception test. You're going to click the screen as you see hazards developing. So, nothing serious yet, but we can start to see a bonnet of a car emerge on the left. So, click now, click again. You can see in the bottom left hand corner every time I click, a flag pops up. So yep, it's detected that we recognise that hazard early enough, albeit we probably could have seen it a little bit earlier. But then hindsight is a perfect science, as they say. Okay, so click in there, road's narrowing, cars coming the opposite direction. Just seen another vehicle approaching now, so we'll click again. There's a guy walking along the pavement, but we're not going to click because that's not really a hazard, and that's something you would expect probably to find. So the car's brake lights have come on. Somebody's waiting at the crossing's turned red, so. Now the problem with that was we clicked too early to begin with. We clicked when there wasn't a hazard, and then we clicked too late when the car in front had decided to brake. So to exit the module, just click in the top right. That will save the score, and your training will become available. So based on the scores that we've accrued through the 4 sections, we will then be able to go into the training section at the bottom and see which modules have been allocated to us as compulsory. On this page you'll find all 19 remedial education modules. Some will have an orange exclamation mark, as you can see the 11 at the top do, and the 8 at the bottom have blue eye icons. That means that they are recommended and they're available to you to do if you want, but we don't think you necessarily need to do them. So anything that's marked with an orange exclamation mark icon, that means that it's a compulsory module. You should complete that. So there we go. We can log out.